Hello, it's Three of Spades, back with Black Ops 3.
He has a deep.
So, Xavier here, we just took him through the window, through the wall, we made y'all them bitches crawl. And as I was playing this game, I was just sort of giving a lot of my thoughts on the story and the environment and the world. I think especially Xavier here, and this whole terrorist thing that happens throughout the second mission of New World. I think that because we are playing altered events and it's like the simulation deviates from real events, not that's going to feel any less real, well, what I think is because the timeline is mixed up by Corvus, and Corvus is constantly panicking the same way that our player and that Taylor is, what's happened with New World is it's a mix of real and fake events where they've faked the timeline, but what Taylor has done is he's used a real terrorist attack and the events of that, and then gotten those people who committed that attack to then commit another attack at an airport using spyware and drones, which is on a television that I will show you. And that attack is the diversion and what is used for Taylor to then board a train from Winterthur, um, to then go to the Zurich HQ of Coalescence Corporation and fight Corvus, which the final mission then takes place in. So,
Aye.
I'll sort of show you through this anyway. So, this guy dies in a
Buried
similar
beneath
manner to
layers
how
of
we
security
did.
protocols, the subject's DNI records cam
Notice the way
footage
he's
of the
laying.
user's past experiences. In extreme circumstances, it is possible to extract that information by force. You'll be able to push deep into the subject's memories, their thoughts, even their subconscious. You could learn everything we need to know about the terrorist plans.
I'm sensing a butt coming up somewhere.
You should know.
You should
Not
know
only will this
Kane's butt
procedure
is
be
rather
deeply
massive,
traumatic
so
for the
is mine.
subject, but the associated subconscious interference will leave him brain dead.
Yes, Hall, we know you have a big butt.
Dead.
You also have big boobies, which is why you
Believe
need
me.
a special armor plate for him.
This is a bad way to go.
It's a bad way
He's
to
a
go.
dead man anyway. Besides, he's a fucking terrorist.
Alright, so we're gonna use our Jedi mind trick on Obi-Wan Kenobi here and access his brain. So, this is what Taylor used, I imagine. He used the same fucking tunnels they did and probably snuck into Coalescence that way.
A few minutes ago, you knew nothing.
Because, like, that's the thing. How did he get to Zurich? How did he get there, right? Well, you know, if he's going off the record, he's at the Zurich HQ, right? Then, I mean, hell, maybe he could have even just fucking walked there. But he'd have to cause a diversion, right? Because that's one of the most heavily armored places in the world. Or maybe he would just, like what happened with Dr. Salim, act calm and then fucking eventually, like, flip a switch and snap. But if there's all that shit that happened outside with the fighting outside, I'm more inclined to believe the spyware with drones thing, Xavier Herzl he had caused, or if not Xavier Herzl, one of the other people who flashed on screen, or perhaps someone who was, you know, affiliated with them and did the similar trick. That's my theory, at least.
What do you know now?
Because nobody mentions the TV with the spyware with drones.
I know where they are. They're using the
It
old
fades
train
out
tunnels
with
to
the
plan their attack.
X-ray again.
But you just learned that your DNI took the ZSF weeks to uncover. What do you think I'm gonna say next? Outcome. Train go boom.
Took them weeks to uncover.
Good to know you can make tough decisions when you have to. I think it's time we moved on.
And to the tunnels we go. This is the way Hall dies as well. She dies the same way that Xavier did. You crash into her, and then you fucking use the DNI on her.
You're taking heavy fire! Here's a backup!
Boom.
The ZSF finally tracked down the terrorists to this location. For their sake, they really wish they hadn't.
You're still here, huh? Pity. I bet D has 100 that you'd be dead by now.
Funny man, Specialist Peter Moretti. He's gonna help you understand how much of a badass motherfucker you are now. Remember, we still don't have the last piece of the puzzle. How in the hell they got the explosives on board the train?
So we're
Off
clear?
he goes.
When this is over, You owe me 100.
So Moretti, the
Back
weapons
to
guy.
business. As you know, one of the perks of being Black Ops is having access to the latest in experimental weaponry. Firearms may be your go-to choice for a weapon in a fight. But with D&I, your mind truly is your greatest weapon.
Oh, is it now?
Let's do some damage.
And remember, he does not get killed using your mind or any weapons. Just a simple kick into a spike, and he's fucked. He's dead. Alright, it's gaming time.
You got a new cyber ability to play with. Immolation. Give it a spin on those enemies ahead. Watch them burn. Hell yeah.
Bye-bye. It's nice I can fucking use my Jedi mind trick and fucking turn them into a grenade. See, if only the gameplay was like designed for this or some shit, you know? It'd
I'm
be
starting
kinda
to like
crazy if some massive channel had ignored this and perhaps judged the game very harshly as a result of not using the intended powers in the way in which they were designed. Huh. Yeah, fuck the Eggman. Halo 5 videos used to be decent, but after this dude turned into the exact same scum he was critical of for years.
Just like your other core systems, you select your loadout.
Just of course.
Use these systems to seize the tactical advantage, whatever the opposition. Okay.
So, once
I've
again,
loaded a second
right,
cyber ability into your core.
Winterthur,
Fireflies.
gate
a swarm of
opens.
incendiary nanobots.
245. Take a particular note. Winterthur. That is an important town. It's going to be in their terrorist base.
Try changing up your cyber cores.
Here are the ticket machines as well. Welcome to Metro Ticket Service. Windows 8, Metro, UI, all flat, right? I wasn't kidding. I'm literally showing you. They go from Windows 7 to 8, and then eventually the game ends with Windows 11, and showing it being evil. They even have the same fucking flower design and everything. It's just instead of it having rose petals, it's just a big-ass tree. I'm sure that that was a prototype design Microsoft had at one point before they turned it to something that would look, you know, shockingly close to plagiarism with the new Mac OS. So, you know, they warn about the dangers of this shit throughout, and yeah, I can see why. It's not particularly a happy future they're portraying here. Does this look like something that's a happy place? You wanna live here? You wanna be here? You wanna be in these fucked up tunnels living this shit? Do they glorify war? Abso-fucking-lutely not. They treat it as brutal, haunting, terrifying, and traumatic throughout. This isn't a game that glorifies war. When you fucking kill that guy, he fucking disappears from existence. Blood on the ground, they scream, cry for mommy.
Keep it up.
It's not something that they ever show as a fun thing. The more abilities you have, the more fun you can have. Yeah, the more fun murdering people. I'm a super soldier cyborg thing, you know? And, I'm mass murdering a bunch of people who want to destroy this technology because it's threatening their ability to live. Why are they attacking this train? Because they see that these corporations are playing God, and they don't want that. They want to live normal lives, and they're not allowed to. That's the motivation for the terrorists. They literally spelled that out in the trailer of the game.
Nice work.
The Ember Tees. By the way, same fucking Ackman guy. He watched that trailer. And he said he doesn't understand the story. Couldn't be any more simple than it spelling it out for you. That it wasn't dumbed down enough. Even if we literally stop you in your tracks and fucking tell you how the story works, you don't understand how the story
They're using
works.
smoke grenades.
Even if we fucking basically say everything that they are doing, then they proceed to do that thing. You can't understand the story, even though we've just told you and shown you them doing that thing, and then they fucking do it. It's actually kind of stupid how simple this is.
EV helps whenever you're blind, whether in the dark or in smoke.
Like got a
Not
different
bad, new
kind of
blood.
smoke that should take him out.
Adjust your optics.
You know what I
can
mean?
see through smoke just as well as these grunts.
And when you burn these motherfuckers, yeah, they're not exactly happy about it either. Now they put big booby, creepy ass Nicki Minaj in these games.
Unless you're a damn superhero, you're shooting blind. Switch to your EV.
I am a superhero, don't you know? Call of Duty, murder is fun for everyone. No, not in this game, I'm afraid. No, they showed it as being horrible, like in the first fucking mission of the game. I'm brutally massacred by a robot. And remember, this is supposed to be the fictitious conflict. They were still making these, you know, alternate reality conflicts, but then they still grounded a lot of the shit to actual things that were happening in reality, like the Edward Snowden shit, a lot of the government spying on its, you know, innocent people without any due process or protection under the law, using social media as a weapon to then loophole a backdoor, breaking the constitutional rights to unwarranted search and seizure. And that guy is never going to be able to set foot in a Western civilization for the rest of his fucking life. Simply because he told the truth, and they called him a traitor for it. He didn't do anything wrong. If he wanted to attack people, he fucking could have. It would have taken him like a fucking day. The part where he didn't actively assault any form of, you know, USA infrastructure, despite knowing full well how it works. He could have easily gone to the enemies of the USA and fucking told them every little thing he wanted. He did not. And when that happened in 2013, they called him a, you know, a traitor. Guy's a fucking American hero. And the kind of shit that he blew the whistle on and has demonstrated just the amount of horrible, fucked up data collection that so many companies have done simply to allow governments and other corporations to build a profile on you to then incriminate you in things that you have done absolutely nothing in, or to otherwise, you know, incriminate and implicate you in crimes you never committed, you know. This shit has happened with Google before. There have been people who have had their entire livelihoods fucked up and tarnished simply because Google was used on their phone at the location of a crime, and because the police didn't want to do a proper investigation, they wrongfully imprisoned the wrong people. You know, and that's the fucked up thing. It should not be my responsibility to accept the liability of real police not wanting to do their job, so they use Google to find out who was nearby the scene of a crime. Well, just because I was next to a fucking robbery, don't mean I fucking committed it. You know, you could say that's guilty by fucking location. The best heist is the one that no one fucking knew they got away with. I wouldn't fucking know that shit.
Keep your fucking head down. You may be a badass, but you're not immortal. Bullet to the head will still get you
And that's the thing that they would use, like, just hypothetical scenario there. I really do fucking hope a robbery didn't just happen as I say this, because I don't want to go to jail. So, Google, you better not fucking throw me in the slammer because of an actual, you know, fucking crime in progress.
We'll make a soldier out of you yet.
But that's what Black Ops 3 fucking warns about. It's the sort of dangers of that shit. And you would never know. There's no form of due process with data collection. They assume guilty based upon data they have that's invisible and you can't see. How could you know about X, Y, or Z happening if there is no human process for that shit to happen? If they automate this shit, use AI and some sort of minority report shit, well, yeah, of course you can't know. A human being doesn't look at that data. A human being is not involved in the collection of that data. It's all automated and done as a guilty, without the ability to prove innocence system. There is no honor system. There is no even caveman, you know, system where they'll just, you know, give you a warning. There is no fucking warning. There is no notice for this shit. It's all invisible. There is no way for you to understand what you have done wrong, then to correct it, if you are, you know, in a civilized society. No, there is no way for that, and that's what they warn against, you know? That is what they warn about throughout this.
What is
so,
this place?
Winterthur,
This-
in here.
This is where it all went down. The computer over there should give us some insight into how they got the explosives on board.
Winterthur,
Go interface.
board train. So that's where they boarded the train. I wouldn't be shocked if Taylor boarded that, but there you go. Step 1, hacksaw bots. Step 2, explosives. Step 3, train go boom. Huh. You know, it's almost like Taylor had been the one to say train go boom. Did he know something?
Hurry it up.
Absolutely.
Interface with the console.
And boom. Big hole where Zurich is. And that's the thing about this. At the end of the game, they admit the AI system in this was used to predict crimes before they happen and implicate people in things that had happened that they could not have predicted, right? Like the Minority Report. Arresting people for future crimes. That does not seem particularly human or civilized whatsoever. It sounds like the kind of behavior that currently is happening in China. Also, there's a bit of a bug with this. You can step into this and see the Iron Giant on all of his, like, 17 fucking barcodes, like, all over. This guy is covered in fucking barcodes. I do imagine, though, if they had robots, they certainly wouldn't have a glowing head or a lot of these neon lights, but, you know, you can just straight up walk through this shit, so... If you've got to put a harness on a fucking robot, there's your first problem, because I know that shit wouldn't happen in actual 2065. They wouldn't do that, or if they did do that, it's because some corporate sleazebag needs to get a girlfriend. Well, is that just little tricks, like the wires that go into the ceiling? This place is rigged to blow with all these bombs and shit, you know, just good environmental storytelling. But you shouldn't leave key important details of your story off in a discrete corner of the fucking map with no indicator, no subtitles, and the only indicator for the player to go over here. You have to play this game in all of the incorrect ways. They'll tell you, hey, just go over here, hurry up. No, take your sweet ass time and go over to this corner. Then you understand the story. See what I'm getting at? If you play this like it's opposite world, which it is, then you understand the story a lot more. So, I'm going to go to the train and make it go boom. Also, there's just some other nice little text you can read, but schematics for the bots, the drones, right? This was shit that they were planning for weeks. So there's the cargo car, and this is the inciting incident of the DNI creation and Corvus, and what eventually led to it. Once again, it's that theme from Modern Warfare, where one bad incident can lead to
It's the
a
robots. They hacked
avalanche
the
of
security robots.
war and other actions
brought the
politicians
explosives
will
on
take
board.
against you. Opportunists and corporations and politicians and whoever the fuck else in the case of Call of Duty here, right?
You want to hear something ironic? The reality was the terrorist attacks
Once
actually
again, not wearing the
accelerated the
scarf.
development of the Winslow Accord Neural Network Initiative. If it wasn't for the fear of attacks like this one, we probably wouldn't even have the Cyber Soldier program.
Exactly.
Hang in there. 7:25. Got about 5 minutes.
7:25. You got 5 minutes.
You've been here before, New Blood. Let's see if you can change history. All robots should be considered hostile. Trust me, they'll consider you as much.
Concealed weapons prohibited on this train. Well, not concealing. I'm shooting. Once again, though, the eye scanners, DNA. You're seeing other little, you know, bits behind you. Once again, these have this sort of blood vessel, vein kind of look. The different blood cells, the white and the red especially, sort of are detailed. All these, right, we'll look for, if I can find it. Winterthur, gate opens. 2:45, so 5 minutes, right? More of the eyes, and the flowers.
If this shit was
Right
real,
there.
you'd be killing civs left and right.
Hail Hydra. So there's the TV here. 26-year-old man was arrested at Zurich International Airport on Sunday for deploying spyware through Wi-Fi using drones. Then you see all of the stocks are mostly related to bread, food. That one's chemical systems. Does it say chemical children systems? I don't know. Chemical halogens. Mary Studios core. Yeah, chemical halogen systems. So, related to the gas, I suppose, the Nova 6 gas, right? More of this sort of art with the whole Spec Ops The Line thing. Shatters in the glass, too. Nice detail. Magazines. Some very, like, Y2K, early 2000s aero shit throughout this game, and it looks pretty nice. Oh, somehow that's a kill. Sorry, buddy.
Takedown is another one of your cyber abilities. Try it out on those bots.
I'll grab that. Where'd it go? Okay, there it goes. There's also these, like soda with bubbles. This kind of reminds me of like a Target I used to go to. A Target store. It used to have the cafe in it. It was a lot more red, and they had a lot of these more bubbles. Kind of this stuff. The Frutiger Metro as well is also tied in here. Frutiger Metro is a lot like Aero, but it's less glossy and just more flat, but there's a shitload
Don't leave me
of
hanging,
bubbles.
New Blood. Use that takedown.
You'll be hanging quite a bit there, bud. Sorry. While I'm looking at all this, background detail, once again, you notice how the map almost resembles the DNA and the blood vessel thing that's been going on throughout this. Everything throughout the world in every detail. Same thing as the door before that, right? It's the same stuff. There's all the chemical elements, and the atoms are all connected. The eye, you're being spied on, you're being watched. Notice how these are all kind of crossed out. The beer, no alcohol, no smoking, no laying down. Well, gee, I don't know what we're doing in the hospital right now. Laying down, perhaps, huh? Make sure to throw away your trash while we see how well they threw away their trash, I suppose. You can, and what do you know, huh? We're on a call, and we're using the eye, so once again, it's a recurring bit. If you keep seeing the same thing in everything, well, gee, I don't know. Probably there's some reason that they want you to pay attention to it.
Watch your flank. They're coming through the windows.
Take him
Nice
down.
takedown. Right on the butt. Nice. Getting the hang of these takedowns.
Oh shit, he's shooting. Bye-bye. Yeah, the shotgun sucks. I kid you not when I say the pistol is better than the fucking shotgun. Yeah. Mostly because of, like, getting civilian casualties, but, yeah, Treyarch CEO here. Didn't do a half-bad job with the model. I'd recognize that hairline anywhere. Grab the old train pass. There's a bit of dialogue that Kane will say, because if you actually go into the collectibles menu, which is like this in-world computer.
Warning. Train going into lockdown mode. This is not a test. Please move to the nearest
That's how you take an
and
enemy down
await further
fast.
instructions.
The announcer there. She would usually be hit.
You got hostiles climbing up the sides.
Now, fun thing about this is you can just wait for them to get over here and then fucking shoot them. You can camp. Welcome to Gears of War.
Use concussive wave to take out a group of hostiles at once.
Alright, Hulk smash.
See how that just tore through those sons of bitches?
I mean, most of them anyway. It's the old ruin ability. They kind of got ruined, as the name would say.
The neural network prototype is in the car right below you. It may be shielded by 6 inches of CNT, but that won't mean anything when the bomb goes off.
Treyarch, the mature people they are, CNT. It's cunt.
You better pick up the pace.
Alright, so I'm gonna wait for them to get over here. No, that's not gonna work. Zoom. And of course, his concussive fucking blast. And, of course, I fucking missed. Shit. But anyway.
Keep pushing up. You've almost located the explosive.
Boom. We'll continue through the madhouse of terror in the Coalescence train. But yeah, there's this theme of like trains and medical shit and beer and alcohol. Constantly, they just nail it into you again and again and again and again, right? Shit, EMP. You're fired. Got a blast. There, join me, it'll be a blast.
Fuck yes, you're a force of fucking nature.
So when you blow up the train, remember, like I said, it's the trolley problem. Do you save everyone, or do you save yourself? Now, granted, what probably would have made more logical sense is, oh, if you could just save them, then jump right off the train. Like they say in the nightmare mode happened. So it's like, oh, how do you survive? Well, I jumped off the train. So they fucking knew. And that's probably what Taylor did with this train. Cause a diversion, right? How does he survive? Well, there you go. And who's to say that this train was not, you know, transporting Corvus in the DNI at some point? Because the way that it works is, you know, Corvus works with trauma. So if these moments were very traumatic for Taylor, right, and it works off of all the collective experiences that he has, and especially with this and Kane, right? Most people had pointed out the Ravens over on the left side, but paid fucking zero attention to the Activision CEO on the right side, and all of the empty beds and the brain computers that are there in the hospital, and all the hospital equipment used throughout the entire game. Why is it that every place seemingly has hospital computers, brain scans, alcohol, even if it's just like something as simple as a coffee shop? Why do they have all this imagery of people being integrated into technology? Unless, of course, that's what's happening to you, and the game is just pounding you over and over and over and over and over and over with it. Just the same way I am, right? Yeah, fucking hell. I mean, I love the visual storytelling, the way, you know, this game is just showing this interesting,
The
well,
whole thing's
at times
booby-trapped.
kind of outdone setting.
If I hack it, try to move it, or detach the car, it's gonna blow. It's too much! Even with the computer in my head, there's not enough time!
It's actually very simple.
See how he looks a bit more stressed there?
Wait,
It's
This is a
especially
magnet.
the
if I reverse
forehead.
the polarity on just this
The
car...
veins are popping out. He's like, it's actually very simple. Kind of looks a little evil, even. Boom.
There was no way to stop it and get off the train. Your DNI might show you all the options.
So,
but only you can decide what you're willing to.
Kane will walk away. You'll see her walking away at the door. The Ravens and the clouds with the angels on the left side. And then all the hospital shit. And the CEO of fucking Coalescence. I mean, Microsoft or Activision or whichever. The guy who looks like Steve Ballmer, except a little little less fat and sweaty. And the sort of the brain computers and all that, and the, you know, Taylor talking to Kruger. It's the only line the two of them have shared together? Why is it that, they seem to just not really talk too much? It's like, how is he doing? I expect better. Well, why does he expect better? Because he's a businessman. Why is he this, cold, apathetic person who's barely there? Well, despite him being, just barely there, well, he's the one who caused this experiment. And do remember, the use of all this psychology and stuff is because they hire a lot of psychologists to maximize the amount of enjoyment you're allowed to scientifically have in order to make you pay more money. So a lot of this actual conditioning is true. And a lot of this stuff, if you do this, why are there psychologists at a lot of game developer talks? It's because they want to make this shit psychologically addictive. And you think, oh, it doesn't work on me. Okay. You say that as you're watching this YouTube video where YouTube has been psychologically manipulated to try and engage you the most possible. This shit is designed to be annoying to keep you to come back. If they made this shit good, you wouldn't have that negative attachment nor that reinforcement to then keep you addicted to the website. They wouldn't have you reacting and being offended by everything, because if you were excuse me fucking big red. Anyway, if you were not offended, well, you would just use it casually, and their watch time would go down. And they don't want that because they want you to be addicted. They want you to be manipulated and fucking stuck on the thing. Social media, video games, music, TV shows, movies. They do this shit all the fucking time. Why do you think Star Wars Episode 9 sucks? And there are more movie-length fucking videos trashing the movie for being an awful piece of shit than there are actual people who probably fucking watched the damn movie. Or who gave such, intricate thoughts on the movie from years ago, right? It's that same thing. Critical of it in this game, too.
Sacrifice. Sometimes you have to let go.
Sometimes you have to let go. There's the scarf on Taylor.
Taylor.
Medical equipment.
How's our
left
patient?
side,
As good as can be expected.
Cane,
I
brain
expect better.
scans.
You should know that.
Right.
Welcome back. You're being prepped for surgery now.
Kane leaving.
Okay.
Medical shit there. X-ray
Hendricks wasn't
scans.
even injured on the mission.
Empty beds.
He volunteered for this.
Empty chairs. See? So, he volunteered for that, and that was after the first mission.
The increasing prevalence of drones and combat robots has
Reporter.
significantly reduced the reliance on human infantry.
So, Hendricks as well. They did reuse a bit of cut content where Hendricks was actually supposed to be a lot younger. You can see that they've adjusted his last minute right there. His beard is also toned down. Kenya. A few of these locations were cut from the game. Sirocco, that was one of them. That was put in Black Ops 4. You see his face, he's a lot younger.
How long have we been doing this, Hendricks?
5 years, give or take.
Sounds about
Not
right.
Sirocco, Morocco, that's the one.
You ever think about where we're going next?
Nope. You know me. I just go with the flow.
How long have we been doing this? Corvus, probing for information again, right? And unfortunately, since they weren't able to, finish the story with Black Ops 4 thanks to the whole Battle Royale craze, why do you think that, throughout this, they portray Activision as very cold and distant and apathetic? Why do they portray, the one or the two business people in this as these very apathetic and cruel people? That's why. They interfered with Treyarch making the game the way they'd wanted, so they were critical of that, and that's understandable. If you're making this thing that's your baby, literally throughout this game, then yeah, you would want it to be the best thing you can. But if you're not allowed to do that, and you're given this huge ass budget to then kind of project and vent your frustrations into that, then that's what they did. And this is a trend that has unfortunately kind of taken over far, 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 far too many games in an unhealthy and very, very oversaturated manner. Like, how cliche is it now that every game has some woman in there for no reason other than simply to have a woman? Never has any stakes in the story. Never does anything intense. Never really makes you uncomfortable. It's just boring. Any number of these games have the same art style. Anything in them could easily be replaced. There's nothing unique. There's nothing with identity. Nothing that stands out. Nothing that screams, okay, this is this game. This is that game. It all looks like it could be easily interchanged with Fortnite, and barely anything would fucking change. It looks like every game with Call of Duty nowadays is the exact fucking same. Black Ops 6 to 7. Tell me how much of this shit has actually changed. I'm gonna tell you very fucking little. You know why? Because they're the same fucking game. The difference is one of them was locked off as DLC to then be sold full price. It's the Destiny model, where they've already got tons of fucking contents already made, but then they just sell you a shell of that fucking content to then make more money off of their own greed and laziness and fucking incompetence. Because all this shit's already done. They've just decided to call it a game that it simply is not. Why do you think they went from 3 years to 4 years? Well, that's why. If they can sell you the same game twice, quite literally, and make a shitload more money off of it with zero effort, why wouldn't they? Xbox buying Activision did not change anything. In fact, it just went forward with the same plan that was already going to happen if Activision had never been sold off. If you thought any of that was going to change, you were dead wrong. It was only going to get worse. Look at the way they were treating Halo. Look at the way they've been treating Gears of War. Look at the way they have been treating anything that is not Forza or Game Pass. Hell, look at the way they treat Game Pass. Nothing is sacred to Microsoft. They will sacrifice every single one of the golden geese they have until they are gone. Don't take it for granted. You never know when it'll be gone. Speaking of gone, I gotta roll. Thanks for watching.